De toi. Bam Lemau here with the review for Backlash 2024 in front of a red hot crowd in Lyon, France. People, this show from top to bottom was phenomenal. From the song they sang about being phenomenal in French, to the matches, to just the overall vibe of this show was insane. And I put it all to the French crowd, WWE in general, and just the whole feel of it. WWE should just continue doing pay-per-views outside of America because the crowds are insane, they are lively, and they just give something extra that you don't see on a normal Raw and SmackDown. Even on the SmackDown that we just saw, everything was just beautiful with the crowd, with the energy, the engagement. Go to my shorts video and look at the Jey Uso entrance. That looked amazing. Like with the lights bouncing up and down, people saying it's just me who's day one ish, and then everyone just going up, down. Just absolutely perfect. But without further ado, people, this is my review of Backlash 2024. The pay-per-view started with the bloodline of Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga versus RKO. That is actually a a very cool name that Randy Orton can roll with different tag teams, because he had rated RKO with Edge, he had RK Bro with Matt Riddle, and now he's got RKO with Kevin Owens. So he's actually got a very very good streak going on with these names, and the finishers. But this match was just insane. I loved what they did was that they didn't, go with like a traditional route for a match. They just started off brawling, and it just was like utter chaos, to the point where they were like, you know what? Screw having a normal tag team match. Let's just have a street fight. And these people just went into the crowd, which even added more hype into it. They went ham. They went ham on everything. The chair shots, the bin shots, the table spots. The RKO that Randy Orton gave to Solo Sikoa was also just insane. Like, that was the whole thing was just insane. And also, they gave us a swerve. So, we thought that Jacob Fatu was going to be the new Bloodline member that was going to debut. But instead, it was Tanga Loa, who is the brother of Tama Tonga. I don't really know much about Tanga Loa, but we are getting Gorillas of Destiny, which is like a New Japan group. And let's not shame Tangaloa, because apparently there was a clip of him not being able to throw punches and stuff. So let's not shame him. They probably brought him in for a good reason. But regardless, the Bloodline won this match after interference from Tangaloa. This feud will probably continue, and there was a tease after this where the new Bloodline looked at Jey Uso before he was about to make his entrance in his match against Damian Priest. So, we move on to that match. Damian Priest versus Jey Uso. These two put it on. Damian Priest should be called Mr. Backlash because he has banger matches on the show. Last year he had the match with Bad Bunny, which was one of my favorite matches of the year from last year 2023. And this year he also had a very very good match. As usual, he had constant Judgment Day interference, which cost Jey Uso and led to Damian Priest retaining, which was obvious. Damian Priest is not going to lose this title in his first defense. But it did leave seeds in for a possible future match between the two, and the fact that Judgment Day is closer than ever to splitting up, with Damian Priest probably being the babyface of the group. Now, to the women's match, the women's world championship match between Bayley, Tiffany Stratton, and Naomi. When I say these people put it on, like they showed out and they gave everything. From Naomi's entrance, which was also a banger with the lights and everything, to the European crowd, every time Bayley comes out, they give her the whole song of Hey, hey Bayley, hoo-ha, I wanna know if you wanna be my girl, which is like my favorite thing every time Bayley steps out into Europe. And I'm gonna sing it. I have no shame. I will sing that because it is one of my favorite stuff. But yes, Tiffany Stratton also. Let me also give credit to her. She showed why she belongs on the main roster, and this match was just perfect. It gives Bailey a lot of credibility. She retained, obviously, pinning Naomi, and let's see where this goes from here. I really, really do think that the next match for Bailey in her defense is probably going to be against Tiffany Stratton in a one-on-one match. Um, yeah, I feel like that's where we're going to go from there. The other women's match was the women's tag team match. And this was just a showcase for both tag teams. I thought it was just going to be a normal squash match. But like I said, every match here delivered. And the one thing that I can like recall that is like stuck onto my head is the actual finish of this match, where it was Kairi Sane was on top of Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill flips her over and then gives her the Storm's End. That was an insane finisher. Like, she has so much power. Like, that whole group, I don't know. That whole group, I don't know what you would call that group. Would you call them the new Mega Powers? I don't know. But the Bianca and Jade tag team should just go on a tear and then just split up right before WrestleMania, where we would get a Mania match between the two of them. Um, and then we move on to the main event, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles, a dream match. Leaders of the Bullet Club, former leaders of the Bullet Club, I should say, which is like expanding because we're getting a lot of Bullet Club members. So maybe we're gonna get a Bullet Club in the future. But nonetheless, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles was a banger match. It was the opposite of the Roman Reigns versus Cody match, which was like full of surprises, sports entertainment. This was just wrestling at its finest. These two put up all the stops. There was a top rope Cody cutter, which was insane. These two just showed out. Like, if you wanna watch a pure wrestling match, this is it. This was it. Overall, I do think that Backlash 2024 was a great pay-per-view. It lays the seeds for Raw SmackDown with King of the Ring coming out soon. And I'm really excited for what WWE has planned. People, like, share, subscribe. I'm going to come through with Raw and SmackDown review from this week for King of the Ring because these matches are very interesting. We've got Kofi Kingston versus Rey Mysterio. That is a dream match, in my opinion, because those two have never. I don't think these two have ever faced on on TV. We've got Gunther versus Sheamus, which is also just going to be a banger, and we've got Drew McIntyre versus Finn Balor, also a banger. So people, like, share, subscribe, go watch my shorts, and I'll be back. De toi, Bam Lamar out.